Welcome to today's growth group. My name is Drew Bridewell. I'm head of product and design at GrowthDay, and I'm super excited today because we're going to really nail down three core focus areas for this growth group. Now, first, thanks for taking the time out of your Thursday to be here with us, and also just rooting for you over here in Napa, California. The three core things that we're going to dive in today. One, we're going to learn about growth systems. Two, we're going to learn about growth loops. And then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into any demos around the plan tool, the life score tool, the journal, courses, and basically any questions you have about the GrowthDay app. We're going to cover them today. So feel free to use the chat, use the notes over in your right sidebar to save your thinking, save some of that intention that you have so that you can always go back to it. One of the traditions that we do for this growth group is if it's your very first growth group, or if this is your first week in Growth Day, we would love to know about it. We would love to hear about it in the chat. So if this is your very first growth group inside Growth Day, then let us know so that we can best support you and also just get you going. So welcome, Henry. Welcome, James. Hey, Lauren. Good morning. And welcome, Susan, Chris, Mary, Geronio, James, Noemi, and Patrick. Just welcome to today's session. So while we get the crew rolling in here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to dive right into the keynote for today. And then we'll work our way through the content. So hi, Mary. Hi. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm so pumped about this because I love talking about Growth Day because it's just helped me so much, but it's also been just such a joy to build and to improve. And the core things that you might not be aware of just coming right into the platform is that it's really focused around these three core things. It's tools, community, live coaching, and also this new thing that we've been talking about around social learning. And these incredible ingredients are all mixed inside of Growth Day. So when you're thinking about Growth Day, know that there's a community of strivers, a couple 100,000 people trying to improve their lives. We have the tools that I'll be walking you through very shortly that are like this connective tissue to help support you along your growth journey. And then we have the live coaching experience. We have weekly live coaching sessions. We have daily fire from Brendon every single day. And then we have our on-demand courses that are inside of the Learn Library. So these are the three things that we'll keep going back to today, but also just to know that we are in a social learning experience right now. You're in a growth group. You can chat with us. We can actually see the words that you're writing live here right now. You can also take notes inside this growth group and have them forever. And you can also do this for any other growth groups that you're in as well. So beyond taking it like tools, community, and live coaching, we also have the system around Growth Day that we built around the homepage where you have all your aggregated learning content and growth content that you've had from anything that you've done in the platform. It's going to help show up on the dashboard. You also have a journal, a life scores tool. You have your growth profile, your learning experience, your challenges, your plan, and community. And this is all built and designed around supporting you in your growth journey. So within that growth journey, there's a couple things just to get it out on the table right now and all the elements that you have at your fingertips. You have a journal, you have a plan tool, or what we're soon to be calling the checklist, because it's essentially creating high impact checklists for you to grow and develop. It's not your Asana tool. It's not your Jira or Atlassian Trello board or not your Notion board. It's a checklist, an elevated checklist that you can set due dates, reminders, set recurring. We'll talk more about that through today. There's also your life scores, your assessments, your high performance habits, research, your books, and also the courses to support you along that. You have your dashboard, which I was just talking about a second ago. The daily fire. If you haven't got to hear Brendon's daily fire today, you have all day to listen to it because it's only up for 24 hours. But the Daily Fire is also one of it's a fan favorite. It's incredible because he's literally recording this the night before, uploading it to the platform, and it's fresh and relevant and relatable because he's doing it every single day. Then we have our challenges. We have five-day challenges from some of the world's best with Mel Robbins, Anthony Trucks, and Brendan Burchard all have challenges inside the platform. We have our growth groups, like the thing that you're in right now. You could also do one-on-one coaching and growth, like inside of a growth group, or you can do growth group coaching as well. So you have multiple people talking about series of topics, which I'll show you those too, because we have templates for you in case you don't know what to facilitate, you don't know what conversations to have, we can help you and support you in that as well. And then with the last pillar, which is the learn pillar. The learn pillar is just that on-demand courses or that live weekly training. So you have both at your fingertips. You can either do live weekly trainings on Wednesday. We just had Lori Harder go. Yes, it was amazing. It's spectacular. The week before that, it was Mel Abraham. And then we had at the beginning of the month, we had Brendon Burchard going live and inside of the May 1st event. It gives you so many different options, whether you want the on-demand training or whether you want to be in a more social learning experience, a live social learning experience, you have all those to choose from. But you know what? Sometimes this can feel like, okay, where do I start? Drew, you give me all these tools. What's the first thing I should do? I'm going to walk you through that right now because I know that will help give you a little bit more direction on where to start. Let's just do this. And thanks, Paul, for mentioning that this is your first growth group. Welcome today. Just want to celebrate you for being here, taking the time as well. Everybody that's just joined a little bit later, thank you for joining. And we are recording this session in case you want to check back later. You can always go to the community section inside of Growth Day and search how to use Growth Day, or you can see the pinned post over on the right sidebar of your community, and you can click on any of those. And those are some of my past replays as well, so that you can just get up to speed on everything that we're going to be talking about today. I was just talking about how you can get more aim. You have all these growth tools, but what do you do first? If you start to learn this system of growth loops, and I'm going to break it down for you, it's in 4 steps. So if you're going to take anything away today, you can take a screenshot after I get all these slides up here and you can take a screenshot of this. But first thing we need to do is we need to create and gain awareness. How do you do that? You can first start by practicing a journaling practice. Journal about your mindset, your aspirations, your feelings, your observations, the things that you appreciate, things that you're grateful for. You can do that inside the journal. And it's one thing to just write open about just whatever, but we also bring in prompts inside of the Growth Day journal, high performance prompts to help really ask you those really difficult questions, but helps you release and answer those questions in a really thoughtful way. So I'll show you deeper what that looks like since this is your first week, or maybe you're a pro and you just haven't really taken it to the next level yet. So we'll look at that as well. So you have their gain awareness is the first step of the growth loop. The second part of the growth loop is achieving your goals. So capturing your goals, your top checklist, your deadlines and your due dates and your reminders. Now, this is what we were talking about with the plan tool, which will soon be transitioning to more of a checklist. And this checklist is a series of list items or subtask items that you can put inside the Growth Day app. And you can get reminded about those on a recurring basis so that you can practice those things. Now, I'll give you some insights and tips on other ways to use the plan tool, but I think you'll find it super helpful and super agnostic because you can use it pretty much for anything beyond your daily grocery list. You can use it for routines. You can use it for forming habits. You can use it for things that you're practicing in your development plans and things you're training on. So we can talk more about that too today. So I have these 2 steps. Now let's go to the third step. The third step is about measuring progress. So yes, you can gain more awareness with your journaling. You can gain more intention around what it is you need to do for the day. But now we need to start measuring how you're actually feeling and how you're performing throughout the day. And we do that with benchmarking, and you can benchmark with these life score assessments. Now, life score assessments there's daily, weekly, and whole life assessments. And we design these based on our research from the high performance habits. And the weekly questions that we give you are all correlated back to the high performance habit research. If you haven't yet read Brendon Burchard's book, High Performance Habits, then I would encourage you to check that book out. But guess what? If you're a mastery member, then you have full access to the full course inside the library and the audio book where you can just listen to it in the app and take timestamp notes. And that might suit you a little bit better than reading the book, but you can do both. You can do it at the same time. Great. We're using this measuring your progress, and you can do it with scoring your life, tracking your habits, improving the results, because you always get life score recommendations after you do one of those assessments. So that's the third part of this. The last part of this is just staying motivated as far as the growth loop goes. As we come in to our weeks and to our months, and as we're planning the month ahead or planning even the day ahead, we want to be able to stay motivated as we're working through our personal development practice. So how do we do this? We break this down into many steps, and I'll show you examples of each of these. But if you're going to take anything away from today and you're like, where do I start? What do I do? We want to gain awareness. We want to achieve our goals, we want to measure progress, and we want to stay motivated. In my mind, if you have a figure eight and you're thinking about this loop, and this loop of growth is just something you can do every day. If you can gain a little bit more awareness, you can start listing out your goals, start working towards and benchmarking those, and thinking about how you're going to stay motivated. Let's dive deeper into these so you have more like relatable examples of how to do this. So, for gaining awareness, you can immediately do that by just tapping into the journal. The journal, again, has these buttons at the bottom of the input box where you're typing, and you can literally just tap those and it will give you a form to fill out. And this form is just open field. You can always clear it if you don't want to write about that specific one. You can always click a new button if you want to get a new recommendation to write about. But this is going to be a great way for you to help start gaining more intention. Then you have the life score section. So the life score section is about that benchmarking that we were discussing. So these aren't designed to make you feel bad if you get a low score. They're there for you to put a stake in the sand and put and plot these points throughout the year. That way, at the end of the year or every month, you have these plotted points of benchmarks around how you were feeling, what you were doing. If you have a low on your sleep or low on your energy, you can start to correlate why with your journaling and correlate those back to actually taking action, making a change or course correct. So this is how you can first start gaining more awareness. All that intention that you have that's outside of the product, you can bring it into the product to be able to start aiming yourself a little bit better. Another thing that you can do with the second part of the growth loop is achieving those goals. So when it comes to those checklists that you need to create, remember that you can put in your top three priorities or goals for the day. You can think about how you can prepare or what people or persons you need to reach out to today. You can basically go through and create any type of list that's going to help you stay anchored around what it is that you really want to achieve today, tomorrow, this week, this month, this year. And you can go as big or as small and granular as you want. And that's what's pretty cool about the plan tool. It's agnostic. You can do anything you want inside there. The third part of that growth loop, benchmarking and measuring progress. We do that with life scores, this daily, weekly, and monthly life scores. If you don't score, then it's going to be hard for you to know like how you're actually progressing throughout the year and looking back because so many things happen in our lives. If we aren't taking the time to reflect, it's hard to know what we were doing like last month, better alone like last weekend. There's a lot of things that happen in our life. And if we don't journal about it and if we don't score about it, then it's dust in the wind. We don't remember. So this is a great way to anchor yourself and to start benchmarking. Staying motivated, which is super fun part of about being a part of Growth Days. We've designed multiple different learning modalities, right? You have your growth groups, you have the courses, you have challenges, you have the daily fire. And if you're a mastery member, you do have access to Ed Milet's Monday Motivation, which shows up on the dashboard of the app every single Monday. It's a special featured section. So he has a really solid, like 5 to 10 minute recommended video that he produces just for Growth Day, puts it inside the Growth Day app. And you can check those out on Mondays if you're a mastery member. And the last thing here about staying motivated is we have an incredibly supportive community. So if you haven't even already noticed that, if you go to one of our IRL events like in LA, or we have a couple other announced locations, we're going to be going to Miami, we're going to be going to San Francisco, we're going to be going to Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you have the opportunity to join us live, meet our team, meet us, and see the energy and be a part of that energy, you'll notice that the community is just incredible. Like the strivers in the community are just outstanding. And it's great to be a part of a really supportive community like that. So that's how you can stay motivated because sometimes we need that help. We need that support. We also have a Growth Day podcast network, if you didn't know, where Lori Harder and Trent Shelton are both a part of it. And of course, our CEO and founder, Brendon Burchard. And we have these podcasts that you can listen to also if you're not in the app. And just want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to that. So Lori Hards is Earn Your Happiness and Trent Shelton is Straight Up with Trent Shelton. And then Brendon's is Motivation with Brendon Burchard. You can search those in the podcast store and iTunes and just subscribe to those. It supports Growth Day. It supports the network. It's also just the free content outside the platform. If you didn't know, last year we released these incredible masterclasses. So we have 23 plus masterclasses right now where the special thing about masters is it takes one specific topic. And then we have 7 to 8 or 9 coaches go deep into that subject matter and teach a framework, teach a training, and come together and You can watch this as a course, take notes, timestamp notes, comment with the community. They're just incredible because you're seeing different perspectives across one topic, 8 or 9 different speakers going deep into this, structured and focused. So I'd encourage you to check those out. Plus, our team takes notes and we put those notes at the bottom of every course so that you can go in and literally copy and paste our notes into your notes just to help you get that momentum building about when we're training with this. Then, of course, like sometimes we can't make every Wednesday workshop. We have 10 a.m. Wednesday workshops every single week. But if you miss one of these, no sweat. We record the sessions, we put them into replays. They're usually up within 24 to 48 hours. They go through post production and then they come back into the platform. And you can sort by topic or by coach on these topics, which is another powerful thing because not everybody can attend a 10 a.m. session. Not everybody can attend a 10 a.m. session on Thursday too. So that's why we record the sessions and you can always check back those later. And the thing that I love about all this is you're going to be able to search for this inside the platform now. So if you ever miss a session and you're really fascinated and interested about communication, collaboration, teamwork, leadership, starting your dream, you can always search for those in the navigation and you'll be able to get a quick link right back to that course so you can watch. And that includes that full library of content. So there's no shortage of content inside the Growth Day platform. You do have to have a mastery membership, but I gotta say, one of these courses alone is worth the full tuition for the full year. So try it out, check it out, get into that 7-day free trial, go through the content and see the value. And we'd really love for you to be in the mastery membership so you can get access to all this content and the full ecosystem of the growth system, right? We have our coaches, our podcasts, our community, the platform, and then also these other growth systems. Like, for example, there is a referral program inside of Growth Day. So if you are finding so much value from Growth Day and you want to share your Growth Day link, then you can set up a referral link inside the settings page inside of Growth Day. And then you can actually earn 25% commission if anybody signs up through your link. It's pretty cool because you can get paid for getting people inside of the Growth Day app. There's also other things like if you wanted to gift a membership to your team or gift a membership to, say, a friend or family member, you can actually you can produce that and do that inside the app as well, which is all inside the settings tool. So that's the Growth Day deep dive. I showed it to you and literally we've gone through it in 20 minutes, which is pretty cool. We've gone through everything. I want to see if you have any questions about what I've already discussed and you can put them in the chat. And I see that Lauren has already been going and answering some of these, which is fantastic. Thanks everybody for diving in there. It's great. And while the questions start coming in, and if there's no questions, no problem. I can demo the product now and show you all the other things that how I think about using the product, but also it's more fun if you engage. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat. Now my eyes, I'm seeing the comments now. So can you please show again where to find replays? Sure, let's do that. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to open up a new browser so I can see exactly what y'all are seeing. All right, so here we go. So now I have you up on 2 windows. And so the first thing that we're going to do, James, is we're going to go to the learn pillar. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you for your patience, everything. This is live. All right. So, boom. Okay. So now we're inside of the dashboard. So we're going to go over to the learn pillar first, and then we're going to scroll down and look, this is the session you're all in right now, how to use Growth Day. We're going to come down to where it says replays and past workshops. Now, this is going to show you the last 4, and you can always click through what we call like this carousel, and you can always click through, or you click view all. And I'm just going to copy this link over here for you, James, just so it's even easier for you to come in and check it out. So inside of this replays page, you can sort by coach or by topic. And if you sort by, say, how to win the year, you'll get the filter by all the lessons for how to win the year. And there you go. You can also even go to, if your favorite coach, say, is Brendon Richard, he's going to get a lot of responses because he's got a lot of content in the platform. But you can see all the content that Brendon Richard has. And that's how you can access the replays. So great question, James. Let's get more questions up in here. So there's a question around, let's see, about journaling. Question. I believe it happens after journaling or scoring. I get recommended videos to watch, but always have the time to pursue. Is there an easy way to regain access to those recordings? Mary, awesome question. And we have heard this feedback loud and clear from the product and design team. And what we are introducing and we are building an updated version of Growth Day, which we're so excited to unveil. But this will allow you to have bookmarks. And bookmarks are an important part because sometimes you don't have that time to watch those videos. But let me show you how to do that. So if you go to Life Scores, and there's three different ways to look at your suggestions. So until we get the bookmark feature added to the platform, this is how you can go in and see your past replays or your past suggestions. So you can go to your daily, weekly, or habits or monthly, depends on what assessment you took. But you can always tap into suggestions and see the latest video suggestion, or you can come down to the activity section and hit recommendations. That's another way that you can see recommended videos, just like it populates a new recommended video every time. Or that's the second way. Or the third way is you can go to the view history section. So again, that's from Life Scores, view history. And then for all of the content that you were looking at in your score, you can click on any of these sections and click and you'll see a new video. So for clarity, I have that video. For energy, I have when you feel like crap or necessity, the dream needed patience, productivity, how to develop discipline. So you can go through each of these and see that. Or you can do the same thing that I was just showing you, where at the beginning of every card, you're going to have a new recommendation right underneath the video. So every time it's a little bit different. So Mary, I hope that answers your question. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, James. Appreciate that share. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. That's how you can see all of your past suggestions and videos. Very nice. Great job, James. Great job, Lauren. Okay, so that's your life scores. Now, there's also a really cool way that on all of your history of your life scores, you can always go back in and write a journal entry because sometimes you might forget to do a journal entry on a certain day. And you'll be like, oh, I yesterday I did do a journal. I did do a habit score, and I can see that on my right sidebar here, which is where it shows like the habit tracker on the calendar. And I can see all the days that I've been life scoring and journaling. And then here I can, if I hover over each of these, I'll see that. But I could also just write a journal entry here in line, and I could do a morning, evening, or a growth prompt. And it's just going to load a prompt in there for me. And I can always click it and it will just load in a new prompt. And living purposely at this stage of my life means that I'm congruent in how I live an intentional life every day as a father, a son, a creative. And then you can just hit submit. And then for every time that you complete a journal reflection, you're going to get a growth coin. And another really cool thing about growth coins is you can count them at the very top of the browser. You'll see it. I have 4,083. And what we do at the end of the quarter, the quarters are 3 months. There's 4 quarters in a year. We take the top strivers and we send them some swag. So we're just getting ready to send the first round from Q1 swag out. And so if you're one of the top earners, we're going to show that. And in the new version of the platform, we are going to have a leaderboard that's more visible to everyone to see based on your subscription type and some really cool stuff that's coming in the next rev of the product. Oh, thanks, Paul. Appreciate you so much. Lovely, lovely. So this is your life score. So we did journal, we did life scores. I'm not going to go to my journal because it is private, sensitive information. You can see that I can journal right here in line and it will show up on this tracker on the right side, but I don't need to go to my journal right now. So let's move over into the plan tools. Yes, great question, Gary. So the question just for everybody watching in the replay was, if you started again, what would you start doing every day to ensure the action is being taken? So I think this is a great prompt. So I'm going to actually challenge myself to create a quick little plan that does exactly what Gary's asking. So Gary's asking if I'm going to start today, and let's just say getting started with Growth Day. So the first thing that I'm going to do with getting started with Growth Day, and if you want to practice making a plan right now alongside me, then go ahead and navigate to the plan tool. You won't get kicked out of this growth group. You can do things while you're inside of the growth group for any growth group that you're in. You can go to the journal and be journaling right now. You can be live scoring right now with me. You can be planning, like literally by the end of this call, you could have done a full growth loop in the platform while you're still in this growth group. So the first thing that I'm going to do, Gary, is be like, if you're coming into growth day every day, I do want to help you lead with intention. So I would think about what's the most intentional way that you can show up today. So bring the joy. What something what Brendon would say. Bring the joy, bring the intention, bring the high performance mindset. That's more me. I'm a high performance coach, but I'm also in product and design and life coaching. And I want to bring that high performance lifestyle to this day. Then I'm going to be like, I want to connect to intention. The first way that I can do that is I'm going to journal my morning journal and prep intention for the day. So I'm just going to this over, delete that. So I got a clear thing that I'm going to do in the morning. Every day, I'm going to journal before it because this is going to help me get my mind. It's going to help me stay focused on what's most important for the day. Then I'm going to create an epic checklist that has top 3 to 4 needle moving priorities of the day. Now, Gary, I run product and design here at GrowthDay. So like I'm always thinking about what are the needle movers for the team and what are the needle movers for me. And so if I was to dive deeper into this, I can click this sidebar and it's going to allow me to add a sub list of what these top needle movers are. So for me, every day, I know that for me to be super successful, I need to be prepared and ready for each time block and meeting ahead. So I design my meetings and my schedule. So it's all about schedules. There's a lot of training around this that I've done in the past, but if I was to really be strategic with you right now, I'm thinking about schedules and systems, rituals and routines. And I'll just write that out anyway, just because we're going through and I'm showing you how you can actually get way more out of the plan tool. Because this is stuff that you can do every single day. So I know my rituals, my routines, and I also understand my schedules and my systems. So these things right here are helping me first. If I'm thinking about the top 3 to 4 things, I need to think about my schedule already for my day ahead. I need to know what are my time blocks that I've already scheduled I use Google Calendar. So I'm already thinking about all the things that when I show up in those meetings or when I show up in that time block, I'm going to execute with high intention and high levels of awareness. And that's just a practice that I'm going to have. And I'm going to come in and this Growth Day plan tool is helping me make sure that I'm anchored into the intention and focus on what it is I'm actually going to do. And then I could go through this block. So for example, I'm doing reviews every day, reviews, and you might have things that you do every single day as a professional, or if you're starting a new business, or if you're retired, or whatever your discipline is in your role and your position, you might have something you do every single day. So how might you improve the flow of that, the harmony of that, the dedication of that? So reviews and feedback. And for me, it's just reviews and feedback every day because it's product design, documenting things, reviewing things. So I'll leave it at that, but there's a lot of examples that you could do there. So I'm going to create an epic checklist. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that at the end of the day, or maybe during the day or when I have a time box, I'm doing some learning. So the learning is learning, it's mapped to my development plan. And then I'm going to also make sure that I'm benchmarking end of day with a journal and life score assessment. Every day, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing at least like 30 minutes to an hour of training my mind, training my spirit. This could be me listening to the Daily Fire. This could be me listening to Monday Motivation with Ed Milet. This could be me jumping on a podcast and listening to something that I'm training in. Like right now, AI and design is like this massive uptick in creativity. And how are all designers using it? What are ways to be more efficient, more effective in your role? So I'm learning a lot of stuff, and it's that time right now to be doing that. And then I'm also at the end of the day, I'm going to be benchmarking how I did for the day with my life scores. I'm also going to be doing a journal reflection where I literally I do a mind release of everything that I accomplished for that day. And I'm showing gratitude and the lessons that I learned for the day. And I'm making sure that I literally open up my phone, turn on the auto dictation on my device, hit the button and just let it record my voice. And I will talk for about 5 minutes and just plump right into my journal. And then that's how I can make sure that I'm staying on track. This is a very simple, straightforward way, Gary, But to start taking action, you have to create that intention. You can use the growth day plan tool to put all that intention in there. So another example of this is we have these things called Friday finishers. Friday finishers are a way that, and Brendon teaches this quite a bit, is what are the top priorities that I need to finish by the end of day Friday? And those top priorities are they're needle movers. They're things that are going to help advance your week or your month. They're not like little things. They're big things, like things that are hard, things that you're stretching yourself and moving forward. So for example, I was using this where in this last week I was doing, okay, I wanted to reignite my high performance habits and reconnect with those. So there's a course in the Learn pillar that talks all about these things. So I went in and I was listening and watching some of this content. And then I have my growth day efforts. I have my passion project, career, and personal goals that I'm working towards. And I just have a sub list of those. And then I have these other checklists that I'm redoing, like going back in. And here I actually have this course for you. So let me paste it in there for you. This is the habit builder course. And then you can come back through. Okay, I'm going to plan my week ahead. I'm going to journal about my week. I usually plan my week ahead on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays because I want to be so intentional about what's happening in the following week. Like what's happening in the next week. I'm already thinking about the next week. I'm already thinking about the next month. And this helps me stay anchored and ready and primed to be able to go take action and do it really intentionally. Yeah, Lawrence, that's a great point. So a lot of people too will time block the 10 a.m. sessions on Wednesday and make it a priority. And we do this for our team. Like we're not scheduling meetings at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. We're learning at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. And that's our moment in time to go in and get our personal development practice in the books. Let's do it. And that's obviously it's easier because we work at Growth Day, but I'd encourage you to time block that 10 a.m. so that you can make that happen for yourself too. So real quick, last step about the plan tool, and this is where I'll finish this plan tool section is you can always set a reminder, an individual standalone reminder about anything you want. You can set it to daily, weekly. So you could be drink water, practice my high performance habits, make sure that I'm flirting with my wife and make sure I'm practicing with my son, soccer. Whatever it is for you, that's high level intention. You can put it in a reminder, you'll get a push notification for it. Or you can go to that plan, set a due date for that plan, set a reminder for that plan, and it's going to remind you about it every single day. Now, in our next version of Growth Day, we are simplifying this to a checklist. We are going to allow recurring, but we're also making it a lot easier and straightforward so that you can make these incredible checklists and that you can make them incredible habits moving forward in your career, in your life, in your pursuits, and personal development. So really fun stuff there. There's also the bells and notifications, all the tooltips and things inside the web experience. And I am demoing it in the web experience. So if you're on mobile, sorry, it's probably pretty small, but I think you'll find it helpful. Absolutely. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So we went through journal, life scores, plan. Let's dive deeper into challenges. We have 20 minutes left. So let's keep lighting up this chat with questions so that we can make sure that there's incredible clarity by the end of the session. All right. So now let's go to challenges. Challenges are pretty cool because they're 5-day challenges. They're also pretty elite by some of the top mindset and performance coaches in the world, right? You got Brendon Burchard, Anthony Trucks, one of our top OG coaches who has been with us since the very beginning. And he's got an identity shift challenge if you haven't yet checked that out. So let me actually show you that right now. So Anthony was also American Ninja Warrior. He also played NFL and he speaks on stage with us in our Growth Day LA events. He's got so much content in the platform. His name's Anthony Trucks. So if you wanted to join one of Anthony challenges, what happens first is you come into the experience, you'll get a watch video from Anthony to get the ball rolling. He sets the tone, sets the intention for the challenge, filmed in his studio. And then once you go through this, then you could start the challenge. And then he's gonna give you training every day for 5 days, journal prompts every day. And then he's also going to encourage you to share your thoughts and go through there. So every day would be a new task. There's about 5 days in these. So as you go through the work, it will unlock the next day, keeps you on track. You'll get notifications to come back in. But these challenges are super cool because they're super social. So you can engage with the community, you can take private notes, and you can see that like already 15,000 people have gone through this challenge. So you're not alone. You're doing this with other people. And that's just a really awesome way to engage with our community and our coaches. You can also join the High Five Challenge with Mel Robbins. So Mel Robbins brought in, oh my gosh, she brought in 183,000 people into this challenge. And it's all about giving yourself a high five and supporting each other and learning about these fundamentals from her book, High Five Habit. And you can go through this as well. Same mechanism as far as unlocking the day and going through the journal. And some of them have different tasks like setting goals or writing different journal prompts, which is also pretty cool. Now let's dive into the learn pillar. So I showed this a little bit earlier where you could go to the past replays, but there's also growth groups from Stripe like you who are also hosting and coaching inside the platform. So one really cool thing about this is if you schedule a group and you're not really sure what to talk about, you can come over to this templates blue link and then you can pick some of our other topics. So if you wanted to talk about gratitude just for today, and you can go through and answer these 6 questions with 7 or 8 different people. And you can, what are you most grateful for at this stage in your life? How do you reflect on what you're grateful for and what's your gratitude practice? Very highly intentional discussions that can happen here. Same thing for leadership. When you think of great leadership, what do you think of? It'd be so much fun to talk about these questions with other strivers, right? This is a good way for you to get to know your community, but it's also if you want to host and you want to facilitate that discussion, bring in a little bit of your perspective and energy into it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So you can do status meetings and becoming better communicators. And there's a list of 10 really solid templates that we also use when we're doing our team breakout rooms inside of our all hands, which is pretty cool. You can add the agenda there because if you do add it, it will just plop it right into the agenda. You can make it public or private. You can make it a video room or audio room, and you can name it and set it to even recurring if you wanted to do it. So there's a couple sessions that I would have as recurring, but you can do it monthly or weekly inside the platform. And that's growth group scheduling. So I'm just going to end that. And then, so we have growth group scheduling. You can always sort by those other topics. And then we have our courses. Now, the courses are only unlocked from mastery memberships. Like I was saying before, the mastery membership, just one of these courses alone is worth the full tuition for the full year. Like, for example, our newest Growth Day team subscription, which you all will be seeing very soon. This is for teams inside of Growth Day. If you want to be able to bring in your team to the platform. So you have to have a minimum of 10 people to join Growth Day team subscription. But let me just show you what's in this course alone. And if you're a mastery member, then this unlocks with that mastery membership. And what this is a full year curriculum of all this incredible content. And it's just packed with value, a full year's tuition. And that's accessible inside of the settings page. It's a groundbreaking course. It's incredible. There's also that community, which I was talking about before. So if you do need extra support, you can come down to the pinned posts and see all of our past pinned posts and check out more about, do you need more guidance in Growth Day or how to use Growth Day? Some of my past sessions, you can go check those out there too. And you can always post inside of the community. So the last things that am going to show with the settings page is you do have your membership and billing section, which is always going to give you access to what you've already purchased. You have the give a gift feature. So you could give a gift if you wanted to gift somebody a membership. You have a referral program, which you can always add in your PayPal email. This is so that we can send you a check, but add your PayPal email address and then you'll get a custom link. And then you can see down below how you are doing with your share out. So you'll get like little stats of what you're sharing out into the platform. So the last thing that I want to show you is if you do have questions, feedback, because feedback is truly a gift and we appreciate all your feedback. You can give us feedback about any feature, any topic, or if you found a product issue, or if you just have feedback about something you think could make the product better. We read those every single day. And then if you do give us feedback, you're going to get 5 growth coins for helping us out. So thank you for that as well. The very last thing that I'm going to show for all of our new strivers is our most premium feature. It's called Brendon AI. We released it earlier this month and it has just been so exciting for us to see how people are using it. So if I tap into Brendon AI, what this is going to do is open up a chat with Brendon where I can ask him anything and I could literally use the auto dictation to ask him questions. So let me try that. Hey, Brendon, hope you're doing amazing. I'm with the other Growth Day strivers in a growth group right now. And I'm curious, what are the top 3 recommendations that you would give to any Growth Day member starting in their first week of Growth Day? Could you help us out here? And I'm going to make sure I spell his name right, Brendon. And let's see what Brendon has to say. Now, there's 2 different ways when you get this response back. 2 different things that you can do. First thing that you can do is you can see that there's these little prompts inside of the message that are going to allow me to go and see the cited sources of when he was talking about, what to do or just the notes from his response. So you can go in here and click on these live, or you can just read the response. Now I'm going to paste this in to the chat so you can read it quickly because this is what Brendan said back in his coaching chat. I know it's big inside the chat, but I'm just pasting it. But inside this, you can also click this little sound bite and he'll read it back to you. And I'm not going to do that right now because since I'm in a growth group, you won't be able to hear it because my audio is going right to you, to the mic. We're in a growth group, but it's a really cool feature and I want you to go try it out. You do have to have a mastering membership to do it. There's also this other really neat thing, which is just getting on a call with him. So let's do that right now. Hey, Brendan, I'm trying to help the strivers new to the platform get the most out of the tool. What are some recommendations you would have that I can suggest to the strivers?
Hey, Drew, great to hear from you. For the first week on Growth Day, I would focus on 3 key actions to set a strong foundation. First, encourage them to start with daily journaling. This helps them reflect on their goals, track their progress, and stay mindful of their journey. Second, have them engage with the live coaching sessions. This will provide them with expert guidance and motivation from some of the best personal development teachers in the world. Lastly, get them to participate in wellness challenges. These are designed to build positive habits and foster a sense of community and accountability. What specific outcomes are you hoping to see from the drivers in their first week?
Yeah, for the strivers, I just want them to have clarity on how they can get the most out of the tool.
Absolutely, Drew. Clarity is key. First, they need to understand that Growth Day is their personal development powerhouse. Encourage them to start each day with the morning mindset journal. This sets the tone for their day, helping them focus on what matters most. Next, they should dive into the live coaching sessions. These sessions are packed with insights and strategies from top experts, and they provide that extra push and guidance. Finally, have them track their habits and life scores. This helps them see their progress and stay accountable. When they see those small wins, it builds momentum. What other areas do you think your drivers need clarity on to maximize their use of Growth Day?
All right, Brendan, I think we're good. I'm going to go get back to them, but have a great rest of your weekend and happy Memorial Day.
Thanks, Drew. Enjoy your weekend too, and happy Memorial Day. Remember, every day is a great day to grow. Let's make it happen. Take care.
So cool. He is going to give you a direct response and it keeps getting better every single week. You're going to get new releases and new updates for Brendon AI. And that's just been a really incredible thing. You can also, if you're signed in, you can see all your history of what you've been asking about. You can name those history, but you do have to sign in up in the top to be able to make that happen. And that's Brendon AI. And that's the tool. Now, there is one more thing. And I know I keep saying that, but there is one more thing. If you come into the growth profile in the platform, which is if you click the growth coins at the top, or if you click from the very top, there's a profile. When you go into your profile, this gives you the ability to write a little bit about yourself, what you're here for. You can add an image in your avatar. This is so in the chat, your avatar will actually show up. And then there's goals, and then there's achievements, and you can see all the badges that you've earned and all the certificates of completion that you earned, because we do believe that growth is a journey and also it can be fun and this can be gamified. And so we introduce badges and certificates of completion. So as you complete your challenges, you're going to get certificates, or I'm sorry, after you complete your challenges, you're going to get badges. You can get bronze, silver, and gold badges for completing all the tasks. If you complete courses, you're going to get certificates of completion for the courses. And those are really cool too, because you can go in and actually see the course. You can go back in and watch the content, and you can even download a certificate that you can have from the platform, which is just a great one. This was it's a really awesome course too. If you haven't seen this one yet by Wayne Dyer, and it's just incredible content to have. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial and this quick little training. I'm going to come back to you over here in full view and just see if there's any other questions that you had in the chat. But Lauren's been crushing it over here. And thank you all for being here. And thanks, Henry. Thanks, James, for your questions. I'm just going to scroll through. Thanks, Mary and Paul and Tiffany and everybody that's been participating today. And for some of you that just didn't have any questions in the chat, when those things come back up, or if you feel stuck with Growth Day, there's a couple things that you can do. One, you can always reach out to support@growthday.com, ask your questions there. We'll point you in the right direction. You can also attend our next week's session. And so we do these on Thursdays, unless it's a holiday or unless we're traveling for our live events. So I'll be there in those live events. And then also, if you just have any other questions, we're here for you. We're rooting for you and just here to support you in your personal development. So I hope you got a lot out of it. We talked about growth systems today. We talked about growth loops. We showed an example of a plan tool and how to dive into a highly intentional checklist that you can create, setting due dates and reminders, setting those automated reminders so that you can remember to go flirt with your wife or go for a run, drink more water, whatever the topic is, you can set that reminder for yourself. Remember that Growth Day is a personal development platform, right? So it's designed to help support you in your personal growth and your personal development practice. So we're rooting for you. We're here for you. And we're super excited for what's to come in our next version of the app. And it's coming. It's going to be pretty awesome. So thank you all so much for being here. If you have feedback or if you enjoyed this session, after this session ends, there's going to be a feedback form at the top. Just click that feedback and give us some feedback if you enjoyed it session. But also, Lauren Lauren, if you wouldn't mind pinning that survey to the top, just so everybody can get that survey for community, just take a couple minutes, fill it out for us. That would be excellent. That'd be excellent. Here, I'll just do pin. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we did it at the same time. Okay. So we pinned that message for you. You should get a little notification to go fill out that community survey. It's going to help us make Growth Day better. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me in community. I'm going to be posting the replay up pretty soon. And just, yeah, hope you have literally an amazing, amazing day. So here, I'm going to turn on some tunes and to send you off. And then I'll also have a little video playing here at the end. And we'll do our ending notes.
Let me ask you a question. What do you really want for your next 12 months of your life?